Hello everyone. Before you get your funny haha reaction and level completion, I'd like to generally go over the process of me trying to beat the level and the kind of mentality that I had at the time, because this level has changed me. Whether it's for the better or for the worse, it's up to debate. I still need to consider a few things, but it definitely has changed my mentality as well as my skill cap. So if you don't mind, I'll try to talk about that now. If you don't want to listen to me, you can skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp, but for now, please humor me. I started this level around a year ago because I've heard a lot of good things about it. You know, everyone was saying it's like a good level to start your insane demon journey with. But you know, at first I agreed. I learned the level. Took me very little attempts to actually get a hold of what it felt like, what it was like. It was generally not that difficult to learn. The problem begins when you try to play the level from zero. The level is almost 2 minutes long, which definitely seems to be a problem, at least for me. I'm horrible at nerve control. I'm autistic, I have astigmatism, I have massive sensory issues, so a flashy level that is 2 minutes long, it doesn't do wonders on my health. So I figured, hey, if it's that easy and that simple to get a hold of, maybe I'll be done pretty soon. No, I was wrong. I started playing this level properly around 3 months ago now. I did 34 to 98, figured it'd be good enough. Sure enough, well, playing from zero, I got to the 50s, around the 60s. Yeah, for a while was alright. So I kept on going, and kept on going, mostly dying at the first half, especially the click at the 50%, which I consider to be a pretty core at a click. I don't know. But that's my biggest choke point, is the first half. The second half is mostly just stress, but it's no longer that difficult. So I almost flunked the level. I died around the 60s a few times, once or twice, and then out of nowhere I managed to pass the 60s and then got into the 70s and then into the 80s on my first attempt there. So then I got into the 90s, I almost passed the last cube, and then I died at 99. That wasn't a great day. I had only around 3,000 attempts at the time, almost fluked it from like 60. I would have had beaten the level in like 3 to 4,000 attempts. I would have been free almost immediately, even though I started playing a year ago, just now that I started actively. So at first it was okay, but that 99% death made me realize something. Aside from my nerve control issues, I was kind of torturing myself in a way. I died at the very last click, and that's not exactly a pleasant experience. So after dying at 99, I ended my recording, shut off the game, went outside and didn't play the level for about 2 months. Then I got back to it, got a 6 attempt practice run, moved on from that, and eventually the level kind of came back to me. And the problem is that I've got so many projects on my mind that I want to do, but that level was just plaguing my mind. I had to finish it. It was a termite eating away at me. So it was like, okay, I have to finish Psychosis before I do this and that, because otherwise it's gonna eat away at me. And it kept on going, and it kept on going, and it kept on going. So eventually I sat down like a week ago, started relearning the level, and started getting insane runs, both practice and start position. I got extremely consistent with the second half, and the first half, doing the entire video pre-drop most of the time, and the past 2 days was when I really started to shine on it. I managed to get to the second half at least 5 times. Not just to 55, which killed me most of the time, but 60s and the 70s twice. And once I died at 84, the very first leg of the spam, which was disappointing and didn't make me feel anything. I was just disappointed and sad, so I thought I wouldn't beat it because that was yesterday. I got that 84 death, that 72 death, that 71 death, a bunch of deaths at 50, one death at 55. It was a bit tiring, to say the least. I figured I wouldn't beat it, and then I got to the 70s again, and the 80s, and the 90s, and I died at 97. I kind of panicked, because I wasn't expecting another cube death, but I did manage to do that on a start position run earlier that day, so I figured, you know, it had to happen. But my mentality at that point was like, hold on, I've gotten to the 80s like 3 times today. Surely that means I can beat it. And within about 20 minutes, I managed to beat the level. And about a year of torture, only 6,000 attempts, I was free. So, yeah. Now with that out of the way, enjoy your funny haha video.